Alright, hey guys, we're gonna fly like this for a second because my setup is running my camera on um, the Discord server because that's how me and Nikki are gonna do this, and I've got to kind of run that proper. I'm waiting for her to give me the thumbs up, and then I have to make an adjustment to get both of us, and then this will be an on-screen reading, at least for me. I told her that I'm going to be on screen. She wants to be on screen. She can be on screen. I told her how I'm going to be on screen. Anyway. Yes. I made that one myself a bazillion years ago. Right when I was starting to put together like something as a live stream and just having something visual to convey and express themes about myself and about the world. And I used to have very different kinds of things running all over the place. That's a couple of those are ones that I was using for forever. Then I had a computer shit the bed, and from that point forward, I wasn't. I had a lot of trouble recovering some things. I didn't want to put the effort. I didn't have the time, like, to sit there. Like, I don't know if I'm just think I'm fast, but I'm really slow at life. But I don't know how other people do all the things that they do. Granted, some might want to say that I shouldn't be doing any of this stuff because I'm wasting my time when I should be just getting to work, right? So, this is why I do things like this, though, because, yeah, there's money to be made in this, but it's a question of how authentic of a person you are, right? Because we want authentic people to make money and not criticize a person being authentic and then saying that they aren't authentic because they didn't do it for free, you know, for an hour of their time for what you simply think is picking up a card and telling a story, when it is 10 times more intuitive than that, and it hits you on a certain level. And you will feel, if you are a competent card reader, the psychic discharge, if you will, the psychic discharge that there has to be something that comes back, right? You know, there has to be like that feeling of I owe you something, or there has to be the this for some reason this reading will help me out. Such as this, using it in a public platform as a demonstration of my talent, as well as to have an awesome conversation that Nikki's interested in. This conversation is also kind of the conversation I'm interested with having with Joe, and I'll have that conversation with Joe over at Library as soon as he has found time and remembers to do it. Because, hey, man, he's, you know, Joe Phipps, he's kind of like Brandon Small, who created Metalocalypse, you know, because to create Metalocalypse, he had to create Death Clock. And to create Death Clock, he had to create 5 personalities in his head and a 6th one outside of the band to keep them in control, and then write a whole effing song with those guys, with these 5 characters in his head. Perhaps it was 3 because his co-partner does 2 of the voices, right? So there's 2 voices to the 5 guys in Death Clock. At any rate, then he has to actually make the music. He has to write it. Then he has to perform it on record to make original sound. This is exactly what Joe does, which is why I fucking love his work, right? I hate myself that I don't have the fucking recording competency and recording equipment and environment and goddamn patience to do that. Like, my intro and my outro, that's it. That's all I've done in a format for production. Otherwise, you can go to Zeralath Shreds. I have a channel called Zeralath Shreds. You can go to that, and I've got a handful of songs that are basically, not songs, I got a handful of scratch tracks of things to be pieced together and riffages and playing along to a drum, this kind of stuff. All right, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to give her another hey. I'm going to try and call. All right. So, let's see here. Thank you, Matrix. Hold on. Hey!
Hey, give me a second.
I'm
sorry.
All right, we're live. No worries. A, we're live on air. B, I gotta turn the audio down. There we go. That was coming in hot. All right. There we are. All right, so that's working, I think. So, can I pop this out?
Are you already live? You just called me in the middle of your live? Is that what just happened?
Yes, we're live right now. You're late.
I told you I was going to be late. Give me a minute.
I know I was going to be late. I was trying to call to be helpful. I'm terrible. I know. Pop out. That's what I wanted. Thank you. All right. That's it. Ah, yes. Now I can take that and make that the screen.
At least you're fully dressed. Thank God.
At least I'm what?
At least you're fully dressed.
You're a liar. You're not even looking at your screen right now.
I'm kidding. That's totally dressed for you.
Yes, it is. I'm totally half dressed.
I don't recognize you with a shirt on, so I need all the help I can get.
All right, what's going on? Why is it you've popped out? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to grab. It won't let me. So I don't have to pop it out to see it.
What is on your face right now, Z?
I have put runes on my face. All right.
Can I send you pictures of the concert I went to with my sister, the In This Moment concert?
Oh, you went to go see In This Moment? That's fucking sick.
It was okay.
It was okay. I like the new album.
Okay, you're the only one that likes the new album, by the way. Everybody else is like, boo, shenanigans.
Dude, shenanigans. Well, I have a very I've got like a wide palette or something.
No worries. Actually, sorry, I have to put my pig up and I can't find her. She's somewhere in the house.
Oh, that's right. You have like a pet pig?
Yeah, I have a baby mini pig.
A baby mini pig. Right. There you go. I've got a friend from Finland now, who is a Box Saga person, and she showed me a picture. She's got a pig too.
Oh, my piggy is so cute.
Yeah.
She's under the fucking bed.
Gotcha. And according to the Box Saga, the pig is just another goat. There we go.
All right, I'm gonna put you on mute for a second because I want to pick her up. She's gonna squeal.
All right, I want to hear the squeal. It's gonna be cute.
No, you don't.
I assure you I do. Okay, there we go. All right, the guys are probably hearing an echo for a hot minute. I forgot to hit the audio mute for the other system. Anyway, yeah, so I've got all my stuff laid out. I'm really excited to do this reading with you and then talk about, how I do the tarot, what you don't know about the tarot, and talking about the runes in particular, because the runes are, I'm way closer to them than I am the tarot, but I'm very good with the tarot.
Not to toot his own horn or anything, but he's pretty good with the tarot.
Look, I didn't toot my own horn for fucking like 3 years. 2-3 years, and then then at a certain point I got such tremendous feedback over and over and over again, like tremendous, like to the point where like things where people get back to me, they never told me what it was, but they told me like some sort of X, Y, and Z positive turnaround because of a decision they made informed by my reading, and that fills me with the most what we call wunyo. Wunyo, which is the 8th rune in the Elder Futhark. It means, in a very basic manner, satisfaction. To feel satisfied in your work. But joy is a more emotionally charged meaning that we love to have for the word wunyo. Wunyo is kind of a root word for the word joy. I wanted to hear the pig squeal. You went mute. I am so disappointed.
I can't get her all the way under the bed, all the way by the wall. Second. My son's coming with a broom.
So on my face, I mentioned there's runes on my face. So I've been playing with more earthen colors in my exploration of magic marking my body, and so I'm working with a green and kind of like a drab brown, like an olive brown, as well as white. And so the Tiwaj rune is what you see on my forehead. On my temples, you see what is Algiz or El Hajj. And then on my cheeks have Saul, the soul rune. So Tiwaz is for truth, and Algiz is for protection, and Saul is for the soul. All right, you're running on mute.
Did you see the picture I sent you?
Oh, you sent me a picture.
The picture.
Hold on.
Do you recognize the rune on my forehead in that picture?
Hold on. Where did you? I have to open the chat box because I'm in the video screen. I can't see the. I see that you sent me a picture, but I can't see the chat box right now. Maybe do I have to turn off my screen to see? I'm gonna turn off my screen a second. All right, no, because I collapsed the show chat. Thank you. Oh yeah, on your forehead there, you put that looks like it's either Ingoz or Othal. That's what what did you put there?
It's Othala.
It is Othala. Okay, gotcha. All right. So how well do you know the runes?
What?
How well do you know the runes?
I know the runes. I can divine them.
Oh, you can. Oh, that's great.
Yep. I can divine them, but I don't use them like in meditation, or I don't use them as in Enochian alphabet like a lot of people do.
Okay, gotcha. And I don't touch anything in those magical systems. Anything derivative of the known Abrahamic system that's used by a lot of bad people. There's something missing that will be found, and it's not a reflection on the people themselves.
Yeah, with it.
Yes, and that's part of the reason why the box saga is important, because it
Oh my
puts a lot
God,
it puts a
the
lot of
box
stuff
saga.
it puts a lot of stuff into context. But we can talk
Okay,
about
like,
all of that. We can talk about all of that later. I'm excited to do the reading for you. You can get this firsthand experience of my relationship with the runes talking to you.
no, I'm happy to. I'm happy. Are we doing runes first? Or are we doing tarot first? Can we do tarot first? Because I love tarot.
Oh, no, we're doing them at
But
the same time. I do a rune tarot reading system. So each placement gets a rune and a card. I'm giving you a
okay,
demonstration of a normal, full-blown, $120 1-hour reading that I offer people. Right?
you say $120?
I offer this reading for $120 to anyone who isn't helping me out by doing it live with me. So
Okay.
the way I kick it off, I have a system before I draw the tarot and the runes. I have a couple other divination tools. This is my this is such a tight fucking system that it blows everybody's minds, right? I use and I lay them out in and talk about them in this order of importance. I start with the I Ching. So you get an I Ching number that
So you're gonna cast I Ching for me?
all I'm going to do is that I have an I Ching deck.
Oh, you have a deck.
I have a deck.
Okay.
All right. I will admit to you that I am not intuitive with I Ching. Like you see a lot of tarot readers that they're reading the book when they're giving you the reading, right? Like I'm just going to read the card and then use my own intuition because it's going to take me a long time, especially with fucking numbers, because I am very right-brained. I
Yeah.
am in the abstract. I had to fight to have better left brain uh, uh, working, firing neurons. My gold supplement does the trick. Nectar of Athanasia. Anyway,
Okay.
all right.
So
So
my thing with the I Ching is that it's better to toss it
mm,
instead of pick it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to cast it, so you
right.
toss it. Like kind of the runes too, you got to cast it. So drawing it is kind of, I guess I'm not familiar with that
Okay,
style of divination.
you like to do the more of the wild cast, right? Like where you throw the runes and how they come out is fated to express the energy or something. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or that in
Yeah.
that you have to cast the coins. Hey, um, sorry. You have to cast the coins to get the pull, right? So you cast it 3 times for each. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Um, that system, I've done that too. I've done that too. I tried it a few times intuitively. My inner authority said, this is a good system, but it's either not for you or it's not yet for you, right?
Okay.
Because I've had to do so many focuses on so many things, and I got this going, and improvement comes when it's ready to come. And that's what I love.
Agreed.
And that's what I love about this path work, because I'm pushing myself in many directions, and then I come back to other directions. I'm multifaceted. It's just like there's the 3/8 in the runes. I'll explain this real quick before we get started, because I'm maintenancing my three selves all the time. I'm doing something for my mind, I'm doing something for my heart, and I'm doing something for my body. Right? I'm working out, I'm reading books, and I'm doing magic. Right? These are the things that I work at, and I put more time into one than the other, especially working out the physical world, because I spent 40 years doing it ass backwards. Spiritual first, mental, then physical development. I should have done it the other way around with better guidance. But I have a lot of retrogrades in my chart, so that's what this crazy man had to deal with. You got 14. Great possession. From the source, creating success. You are rich, either in material goods or in knowledge. wisdom, power, energy, talent, or relationships. Whatever form it takes, you have something real and potent in your possession. That which you have or are, you can give. This pure potential is an opening to source and a promise of abundance. Given all you have, who will you be? How can you affirm and support what is good? I love these cards because it ends with proactive questions. That's why I like this deck. Because that's what I'm all about. I hate talking about the truth if it just fucking black pills you. I better be fucking showing I gotta be fucking showing you some goddamn fucking path to the higher force, or I ain't fucking supposed to be here. Alright, then I'm gonna hit you up with your guiding animal spirit, which has a corresponding element in this deck.
Okay.
I forget the name of this deck off the top of my head because it's not on any of the cards, and I don't keep it in its case. But it's got all sorts of endangered species on it to represent an animal spirit type. Ooh, you've got the air elemental Condor. The artwork on these is fucking rad. Let's see if I can. There we go.
I love a good Condor.
Yeah, the Condor. The Condor, it's number 24 in this deck. I don't jump into numerology with this deck. And there are 4 qualities of the Condor listed on the card. Cycles, reflection, perspective, release. As the reading goes along, I often will see how, especially the way the tarot comes out often enough, see where these are popping up and manifesting throughout the rest of the reading, which is going to be, I'm going to give you the 9 worlds reading that I do. I'm going to be playing tic-tac-toe with your psyche. It's a lot of fun. All right, so those are our leading start cards.
14 out of 24, not bad.
And, all right. After I do the tarot and the runes, there will be one more card that I draw from this little deck called the Whispering Woods. I love this one as the send-off. It's just these little phrases to meditate on. Right? Just these random, hey, there's the pig. Hey, he's how cute. He's a Dalmatian pig. He's a Pygmation? I gotta come up with a name for that kind of pig. Anyway, all right.
He's a Julianne Mini.
Yep. So tonight, by your request, we are going to be playing with one of my favorite newer decks, my Dragon Tarot deck. This one's killer. It's got some Celtic theme in it. It's got some Norse theme in it, and a few others. And it's mostly on the simple side, to get the idea across with just the badass dragon art. All right, so we're going to start this bad boy. And by the way, chat room, I apologize because I've got to be doing the concentration thing. I'm probably not going to be looking at all. It's going to break my flow. So
I can't see it, so.
So if anybody is hanging out, anything you need to tell me, make sure you remember to say it later when I'm done with the connection. All right. So we're going to start in the middle position. The reference points, the way that I learned them, are in a Norse mythology spread. So it gives you a cosmology sense, a metaphysics sense in that respect. So center point is Earth. It's Midgard, which is material reality. It's also the present moment. It's the here and now, and it represents heart center as well. So it's Earth element and its heart center is what's sit here, and it represents you in your exact state.
Okay.
First thing we got is You're gonna love this. This is the Queen of Cups. Yeah,
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. God, a good thing it didn't come up reverse. A good thing it didn't come up reversed, because I bet you're a real bitch. Queen of Cups can't be in a bad mood. It's not good.
You have no
It's
idea.
not good.
You have no idea. I am the best type of psycho.
Yeah. All right. You got Yera.
Woo, okay.
So, yeah. Right now you are. This is about how you're treating yourself for this winter season. We're now in the full fix of winter. We've been in it since the full moon in October, and so this is your time to really kind of cultivate the personal authority you've developed for yourself and your self-worth, your personal power, and the emotional achievement that you are looking for. And that's kind of the state that you are looking at right now. So then we move in a clockwise fashion from the north at 12 o'clock. So the north is correspondent to the waters above, technically. It's Niflheim, the mist realm. This and its southpaw correspondent, Muspelheim, are the primal elements of water and fire, the first realms in the process of creation or recreation or reincarnation even. It starts with the fire and the water mixing within the yawning chasm, right? So here is the place of the imagination. Here is the place of dreams, of the deep intuitive mind, right? It's also a place of lies, delusions, madness. This realm is associated with Odin, because only he, for dying on Yggdrasil, can master these things, because he drove himself mad and came back. That is the path of the shaman. Wow. King of Swords.
Goddamn right.
You're I don't know, are you looking for a smart man maybe? That's the first thing that popped into my head, but maybe I'm just subconsciously flirting with you because it's fun and it's my personality. Perhaps the real answer is that you want to take this incredible wit and intelligence that you have, and you want to put it in charge in your life. And that's what you're really thinking about over this winter.
So I am that smart man that I'm looking for. I am my own Prince Charming.
There you go. You got yourself. You just have to figure out the divine hermaphrodite, so that way you can make your own family and never be lonely with yourself, and you're all set.
Oh yeah, no, I'm well on my way.
Well, what's funny enough is that I drew Nalthes, right? Primordial fire making, the need for fire, the wish to expel the dark spirits, the cold spirits.
So what's funny about that, along with the card, is that what I'm working on right now is cultivating tantric energy, for Kundalini exploration. Maybe that's what you're reading.
Okay. Yeah, well, the sword, the sword would make sense. Swords have been associated to serpents in some respects because of how being stabbed and being stung or bitten by the serpent is the same kind of burning, singeing, piercing sensation.
No, it's the path of the fiery sword.
So, now, in the Northeast is Asgard. This is the place of the higher mind. This is the place where all the voices in your head that you trust come together when you meditate and you have counsel with yourself, right? This is the hall,
the mind palace.
This is the hall of the god. This is your mind palace, precisely, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is Valhalla, right? This is the throne. Mount Olympus and others. It's the kingdom of the gods. It's Udinma in the Bach saga. Right. There's no element associated with this. However, it does have a back door, a gate that leads to hell. It has a back door that leads to the underworld.
Yes, it does.
Queen of Swords.
Yep, I told you.
You're trying to have the yeah. You're working out the alchemical marriage of the mind. That's what you're working.
I'm working out the alchemical marriage of the Kundalini energy with the erotic energies of the soul.
I'll let you let me know how erotic it is. I'm going to be a professional.
Oh.
All right. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I've just drawn my first Merc stave. Merc stave, as you may know, is when the rune comes up reversed. I also do tarot reversed, so we'll see what happens. You've got Raido, which, in a simple respect, considering you're talking about working out this energy system, this ritual, is that you're doing the ritual wrong. There's an answer.
I'm doing it.
There will be an answer within the spread to what is up with that, because as we go around this clock, like I said, it's tic-tac-toe. So we can get correspondences from the underworld to the heavens. We can get correspondences to the upper worlds and the lower worlds, because there's 9 worlds. 3 worlds in the east, 3 worlds in the center, 3 worlds in the west. They interlock and have different relationships with the wholeness of yourself. That's what makes this spread amazing, right? So
I already know what it means. I already know how I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it by myself. That's the problem. You're supposed to do it with a partner.
Right, and it's a self-control thing, And most guys today, and I'm not bragging in any respect, because I don't spend all my time in the mountain, and the internet's fucking right here, right? We men have way more need and issue with the long game. The jokes that had prevailed for decades about men got no long game, and it's the joke in the bedroom, right? And then everybody started talking about Sting like he was some sort of fucking guru, just because he had fucking self-control that he happened to learn through an Eastern discipline, right? So you're going to need a partner who's going to be more like Sting, someone who gets enough meditative semen retention time and has done it for at least a year. Sorry, I'm out.
She said a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I see your Prince Charming, and I raise you. I already have something in place for that, and I know what to do. I know what to do. It's fine. I'm totally working on that. It's
Excellent. See, I'm helping you in real time. That's how good I am, folks. She's half
the man is good.
She's half cured already. She's getting her money's worth, and I'm giving her this for free. Oh my gosh. All right, now we're in the east.
So far, everything you said has been completely accurate.
Yes, the east. The east is the ego, the personality. It's associated with the ethers, the fifth element here. We're in spirit, the atom, so on and so forth. The sun is associated with the east here. This is that Thor-like energy. It's the big, powerful, protective and expansive principle. And so you got the Emperor. You got
The Emperor.
the Emperor, right? So
Again.
I think that this is you having a healthy relationship with your yang. That's what I think that this is. That's you in good balance, because you've got really good energy, you've got really good self-drive, incredibly good self-drive, right? Compared to a lot of ladies that I've met who they need encouragement, right? And if they're not getting it from their girlfriends, a guy who knows the difference is, who actually can risk making a suggestion and being encouraging about an issue without being their head bitten off because it's uncomfortable for her to change, right? To say, well, if you make this sacrifice and then do this every day, I promise you'll see some results in at least a month, right? And they can't do it, right? Or maybe they can. I don't know, right? But I see you doing the work. You're reading the books. You self-initiated a podcast like that. So that Jungian animus, I think, is the divine masculine within the woman. You seem to have a healthy relationship with that. How's the energies with it? Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, you're in complete balance in that territory. You've got Gabo, right? So in this balance, you have an incredible amount of self-confidence and the execution of what you do in a very sensible manner. Yes.
Thank you.
There we go. All right.
Libra, baby. Libra all day.
Libra, right? That's in Vedic. That's my ascendant, and I've got Pluto there. So yeah, my Libra goes deep. It digs deep. So southeast.
Hey, I thought you were going to be professional.
Southeast. This is the realm of the dark elves. They're in the mythos. There are dwarves and there are dark elves, which are basically dwarves that do black magic.
They're elves that do black magic.
Yes, the elves that do black magic, they don't get into Alfheim, right? The dwarf who does not grow and mature through their process of emotions, because dwarves are emotional creatures. That's why they are magical creatures. They are the spirits of raw emotions. This gets portrayed to us through German folklore, with Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and all of them having an emotional-based name, and these emotions drive magical power. Your magic doesn't work if you don't fucking love something that you're doing it about. Right? If I want music, if I want to make magic to make good music, I have to love the music that I'm making the magic for. And that charges the magic, right? So this is that realm. It's the subconscious is where all of this is, right? It's why so many musicians, they write the most profound of things, but it almost seems like they don't realize it themselves when you sit down and hear them answer one or two deep questions. There's plenty of deep musicians that don't do this, but I'm saying for the some that kind of threw a thing out there and they just don't know how they came up with how it was a message that just everybody in their nation needed to hear or something like that, right? That's the power that comes from this realm. It's influence, it's use, it's where your talents, your productivity, me as a guitarist and things like that, it comes from this realm. All right. We have the Knight of Cups reversed.
Okay.
Knight of Cups
Inverted.
reversed. You flip that right side up so you can see what it looks like, because the art is awesome on these things.
Like, that's fucked up. You pulled in my cups.
Mm.
That's fucked up. Especially after that last thing.
Yeah. So the Knight of Cups, he's holding a shield. It's kind of silly that a dragon needs a little. He's got like a little. He's got a little round shield. It's so small, and he's got a giant lance, like an anime level, like longer than he is, and he's a fucking serpentine style dragon. Lance that's at a very precise 45-degree angle. Which is one of the precise angles with the runes. The runes are all straight lines, 90-degree angles, and 45-degree angles. That's all the runes everywhere. Made it easy to write that on stone and wood. Because we didn't have paper technology yet in our part of the world.
Okay, so what does it signify in my spread?
Yeah. This is your this is like so you've got your emotional authority in like, there's no King of Cups, right? But if you think about this in the monarchy sense, right? So you've got an emotional authority that's kind of given you an order in your heart to do. Then the part of your psyche that is going to do as the king orders is the knight. He serves the king. And so this is the part of you that's doing what your inner authority wants, is what your inner authority wants, and then there's the part of you that does it. So right now, you are in the armory. Your mind is working on all this occult shit, and you are building your fucking super anime ultra mech, right? This is what you're doing over here. Like, whatever your fucking your thing of power. Thor goes here to get his hammer, right? Odin goes here to get his ring, so on and so forth. Or his spear, excuse me. The dwarves make all the tools of the gods. You are there because the tools love to make shit for people. They fucking love it, as long as you fucking treat them the way you're supposed to treat them, which is why we follow various paths of wisdom and rituals. And we have drawn, you've gotten Tiwaz reversed.
First.
So something that you are doing in this due diligence is not right. Something is off course. Something's off course, right? This, like I said,
to do with the night.
This is the realm of dark elves. When you look into the occult,
oh no!
When you look into the occult, you know, there's many different ways that you can filter your experience of looking into the occult. And you can believe that everything is equal in your eyes, or you can judge it, saying that perhaps that's evil and perhaps that's not. And you can judge yourself for having judgmental thoughts, right? And you just have to work on making sure you're following your inner authority. I'm not going to tell you what you're doing wrong. I can't tell you that. And we've had lots of cool conversations, and I'm not going to fucking impress my path on anybody, right? But that's just something that's in the air. But
yeah.
All right. Now we move to the south. The south is Muspelheim. This is primordial fire, as I talked about when I mentioned Niflheim. Here, this realm is associated with the principle of entropy, right? But the only place where we get the power to create is in the entropic process. Something has to be fundamentally changed, and thus when it ceases to be what it was, it has died, right? This is when you split the atom, Now you've just got particles that have just fucking popped out of it, off to go find other particles to be friends with, but causing a lot of destruction in the process of change, right? Or I can boil water and get everything to vaporize, right? Completely different process to turn something from one thing to another, using energy, but something has to be destroyed from its original state in the process, right? Fundamentals of creation, which is why all creation mythos is not history. It's just explaining creation. It's just like how is something created metaphysically, energetically. It's just like that's how the Norse saw it. A thing that was cold and a thing that was hot came together, and it purified what was from taking away from what was cold, and then it balanced out because there was too much heat from how that melted the ice, and then out of the ice sprang forth all of creation, right? And because it was all trapped in there, right? And so nothing was ever created. It was all just trapped in the ice. Because our creation story in the North, we changed it a little bit because of the shock of going through the Ice Age, which we didn't see coming because it happened over 3 fucking months, right? So that's our mythos.
The shock.
So point being is what pops up here is what you is where you're drawing your power from. And there's the king, reversed. So yeah, I mean, it's keeping itself consistent with the, you know, between swords and, you know, so you got all air and water operating in here, right? And then you've got the emperor on your arcana, and like all of this is all court. This is all court drama. I've never seen so much court drama in a reading before, and I shuffled a lot.
I'm not your ordinary person, I guess.
Good.
Royalty, baby.
Good.
Royalty.
Ordinary people need to need like if they don't become unordinary after talking to me, then they got to come back when they've gotten a little bit weirder. Anyway, King of Cups, reversed over here, right? So I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Whether it's an actual man that you need. I mean, if this is all about this Kundalini yoga experience and that you're pretty sure you need the man, then, you know, this is just reinforcing it and asking you, which is probably just asking you just like, how are you going to set those terms, right? You know, are you going to be all high priestess card about it and start like a fertility temple thing, so you can do that whole thing, and you'll have to get it legalized and sign waivers and stuff. If you
what are you talking about?
make a thing about it. Well, we're talking about spirit. You know, we're talking about what level are you trying to do this? Are you just trying to do this with a partner you trust a one time, or you have to wait to do this until you've found a divine union, you found someone that you fall in love with, right? These are questions that pop up because of what you told me in earlier, right? Because
yep.
Yeah, because you told me what it was, which usually I do these blind. I started blind, and then around the third card you told me what was up, and so now the reading's just a little bit more informed in real time. So
sorry, I'm self-defining as well.
No. You need listen. You needed.
Into it as well.
It's okay. You needed to say it. There's literally nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to let you know that ends up leading on where my mind goes. But you've invited it, so it's all good. I just like doing them. I like doing them blind just because it helps me keep it from. I don't know. It helps keep it straight, right?
I like to be well informed, just because I don't have to be so vague. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. When the reading, when the reading's done, then you actually reveal the question, and then we talk afterwards, right?
Oh, my bad.
That's I'm so sorry. I should have let you know that that was also gonna, because I thought that was implied because we're gonna be talking about it. Anyway,
I apologize.
hi guys, this is live. All right, day guys, right? So day guys,
Okay, I'm not mad about that. I'm
yeah,
not mad
yeah.
about that at all.
So the day rune, right? It's just like whoever this partner is, it's got to be somebody that's just, I mean, like it's just being very, very obvious because it's there with your personality, and typically seems to be like the appropriate response is just being really excited about the person. It's got to be pure. It's got to be that pure excitement because you feel that they have the power to do it.
Ugh, story of my life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Seven of Cups. This is popping up. This is Helheim here. This is here we are. We're in the underworld, right? This is the place of the unconscious, obviously. So you've got Seven of Cups. It's right side up. So and this is this is very cool that you got this dragon here because this is a shadow dragon too. This happens
Of
to
course it is.
it happens to be a shadow dragon. I don't know why they picked shadow dragon for Seven of Cups in this deck, but
I
uh,
do.
it's totally appropriate. Yeah, yeah. So because I mean Seven of Cups is very Niflheim to me more so than Helheim, but it still is because there's a deep unconscious place that these desires really do kind of come from. Ah, jeez, spilled a little bit of my water.
Yeah, well, seven of cups is emotional transition, so
Right. Well, it's kind of well, it's kind of like you've hit the emotional prism in your journey, right? You know, you felt one way about this point in your life in this context of this question, and then something of a mystery came across to you that you had to go explore, and it took your feelings in seven different directions. It broke you up into your primary colors.
am I blushing? I'm totally blushing.
Told you I'm good. Told you I'm good.
Mm.
I can only imagine what the chat room is saying right now. Oh, however, we have Ehwaz. Ehwaz reversed.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So you're in there, but you're you haven't quite found or made the emotional connection with this. You know, when I see when Helheim is always like, okay, you're going into the cave to find hidden treasure, right? That's Helheim. It's the only fucking reason you go into a dark, dank cave. It's just like to be surrounded by rocks that could crush you. There better be either there has to be something beautiful down there. There has to be something valuable down there. There has to be memories down there. There has to be something down there, right? You know, at the very least, you have an imagination and you're hallucinating the road to Agartha, right? There's something down there that makes it worth spelunking, right? And so you haven't found that emotional connect yet. And we're going to talk about that because that's popping up along this gateway between Hell and Asgard, and you got Raido reversed, right? So this is kind of giving you your heaven to hell connection is a bit off balance. Listen, could you entertain the kids for 2 minutes? I got to recap my water. I am so effing cottonmouthed right now. This is all my chi going into this work.
You're good. You're good. Okay, children, how are you? Um, Here to entertain you. What should we have? Should we have a song? Let's have a song. Um, let's do some nerdy shit. What do you think? Stop me if you know it. Oh, misty eye of the mountain low. Keep careful watch of Mother. Oh, And should the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over the orange sky.
Beautiful.
I mean, that,
I'm back. All right.
okay, so you were talking about reverse Rhino.
Yeah, I was mentioning reverse Rido. We're gonna get to the end because there's still uh, um, one more correspondence to Rido that can't be spoken of until the end, right?
Okay.
Because there's correspondences that's going to be across the board for everything, and I'll either focus on the ones that are reversed because there's a few, um, or I might hit everything depending on how the rest of the story unfolds in the end. All right. Fire! Finally, but it's reversed. We're in the West now. This is, you got the King of Wands. The West is the winds. The West is Vanaheim, where Asgard is the sky gods. Vanaheim is the earth gods. This goes across all mythos, right? All mythoses have earth gods and sky gods. Gods for the pagan that was all about like nature, 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 and then there was the gods of the higher order of things. You know, they're men that had their heads in the clouds and they were big builders and all that stuff. Like there's a different characteristic to uh, our ancestors when we weren't combined with both kinds of tribes working together as a civilization or at least a nation, right? So, um, so King of Wands reversed here in the West. Um, wisdom is in the West. Um, empathy, empathy is in the West also, right? You know, this is because it's that natural world thing. You know, it's just like hippies don't have a whatchamacallit, a monopoly on let's save the planet, right? Um, uh, pagans are just less bitches about it, is all. Um, yeah, no. So this guy is reversed over here, right? So fire, fire has to be dealt with under controlled circumstances in a forest, right? In the Ragnarok, it is the fires of it is Surt. Surt burns down Vanaheim, right? The fires come and they burn down Vanaheim as part of the process of that realm's destruction, right? So the King of Wands is being kept at bay because he's a bit of a tyrant right now. Right? The West is associated with the past, which means all three cards, including this one with the unconscious, is associated with the past. Right? So these are things that have happened that have shaped the things that are happening on the right side, where your ritual is. Right? You know, this is your future. Right? So this is reflective things you've done, and this is projective things you're doing. So, yeah, this is just, yeah, you've probably just been like seeing a whole lot of men you've thought about with doing this thing, and all of them have either been, it's been they're too much or too little. It's too much or too little. They either don't have any masculinity. You got like some soy boy knocking on your door, or you've got like a guy who's maybe a complete sweetheart or whatever, but you can't fucking hold him to a goddamn fucking Queen of Swords, right? Your Queen of Swords shows up and he fucking shuts down, and that's not attractive to you. You're a sapiosexual.
I am a sapiosexual. That's true.
Yeah, I didn't have to draw the Queen of Swords to know that. Yeah.
My problem is that I want to be enough. I want me to be enough.
You want you to be enough, right? Right.
I want to be enough. I don't want to.
Hmm.
I don't want to not be enough.
Sure. To do that, like because we are made to put this energy towards creating life, right? And it is good to have the discipline and the power because you're charging yourself, right? But you're doing it by yourself instead of the control of a disciplined, powerful man in your life who can hold that space for you to do that, right? Because you have to work double. You have to work for him within yourself without having a him outside of you. And there is no outside, right? This is Dasein. It's Heidegger and Dasein. There is no
Oh,
outside.
I love
Like
that.
the man will just feel like a part of you that's finally come into your life. And and then you won't even have to fucking worry about this fucking problem that you're having. Because on the
It's
other
not a
level,
problem. I'm not
because
having a
unless because
problem.
unless you want to be alone, unless you want to be alone, and if that's your choice, that is an amazing choice because you're doing all that kind of purity stuff and building your power. Um,
I want to
I'm
want to
just
be
I'm
alone.
just saying that you will have the mate to do that with, if you play your cards right. That's what
Mm.
I'm trying to say, right? I'm trying to show you that under these assumptions. But let's get to the end of the reading because I'm gonna be able to tell you better things once I'm able to throw the correspondences at you, right?
I would like better things,
Don't worry.
Z. Thank you very much. Better things are fucking. I'm ready for them.
All right. So over here you've got manas, right? So this is the mind,
Okay.
the moon, right? And mankind in a sense, right? So
Mankind as in suffering, motherfuckers.
mankind is
Suffering ass motherfuckers.
suffering. Now there's no suffering here. This is upright. This isn't Mercs Dave.
Mm.
Um, what this is telling me is that you haven't found him yet, but you're looking for the right thing. That's kind of what it's telling me.
What am I looking for?
What you need to do this for yourself. You haven't found it yet or him, but you do know, but you are looking for the right thing, right? Like your mind for what this is about that we were just talking about is in the right place. That's what it's telling me.
Mhm.
All right, all right. So that's coming from a place of wisdom because it's Vanaheim.
So, girl's got a plan, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you've got a plan, but then but you do have to but you do have to work out how you are charging that fire, whether it's coming from within or if it's coming from someone who might be the one who uh, you find some sort of wholeness to. You fall in love. I don't know. So, in the
So,
northwest, this is the last spot. This is Loshelfheim, light elf home. So this is the opposite of where the dark elves are that we talked about. This is the realm of the ancestors. This is the realm of the ascended masters. Um, like the great mentors of the ages. You ever saw the movie Soul? Right, when they're in the flow state, and then like you can go and get and like your soul gets like an intuitive lesson before you're born from some amazing freaking historical like person, like Young had 3 seconds in the movie. It was freaking beautiful. Um, Like that's kind of like what's happening there with Losafheim, right? So this upper realm is associated with the higher self. It's associated with your inner authority, right? You get your messages from your guides and your ancestors correspondent with here. This is correspondent with the moon. Because there was important moon date rituals in which we did things like Alphablatt, which were rituals to get the ancestors. But as you can see, it's Alpha, which is Old Norse for elf, where Gandalf comes from. Ace of Cups is here. So you you're being told that you have to tap a new wellspring of energy to find what you're looking for.
No, that's what I said. I said it today. My best friend. I was talking. We were talking about it today because he knows everything. Like I tell him everything.
Mm.
Um, and we talked about it today. Like legit.
And
We did.
and some more blocked energy. Unfortunately, you've got Kenaz, Merkstave. Kenaz in reversed. So, what they're
But
saying.
I had so much fire in the cards. I don't understand.
I know. We'll work it out. Like the way I do my readings, because
Wait, we're
of
talking about future. Are we talking about future?
and this is part of the future, right? It's like it's your. I'm sorry. It's part of your past. I'm sorry. It's part of your past, but this is the part of your past that informs your future. I mean, all of it is because it's happening in a divination reading, but this is specifically associated to like I mentioned,
Oh,
all these things like ascended masters, guides, ancestors. I mean, if you went to the graveyard last month and you freaking went to go visit grandma and then you had a cool dream, that's what this could represent, right? It can represent many of things. What it's saying with Kenaz reversed is that you're not cultivating the right either knowledge or skill to or putting it to proper authority to I made jokes about licenses and stuff to do this thing because I wasn't sure if you were trying to say it was. I didn't know if you had told me the whole question, right? You just thought it was just associated with Kundalini, and I didn't want to make assumptions. So I said like maybe she's going to teach people how to do this. She wants to be a teacher, but that's a sexual thing. There's going to be liabilities, like maybe she needs help on the business end, and that's where my mind was going. Unlimited information, right? It's just what happens in the flow state, which is why I like to do them blind.
so actually, what I'm doing is research for a project that I'm literally going to be writing down and planning out a comprehensive curriculum for sexual erotic zone energy cultivation and practice.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so like I said, like Kanaz is about knowledge, ability, and authority, right? And so you need to expand where those are weak. So now, now we can look at the whole spread as it is. Give me 1 second. I want everybody to be able to see this, appreciate it, and take it in. So I'm going to take the blur off real quick. Oops, put it back to none. All right. I'm just going to take this off and bring this over to the table. Ooh, this is not a long cable. Can that be seen? Oh, that can't be seen, can it? All right, I'm going to drag this over. There you go. There we go. So that's terrible. I will take a picture of this because I can't use this thing right now. I will get a picture of that out to people. I mean, you can kind of get the idea. Okay, so I'm going to focus in here on our reversed runes and then talk about those things first, because in this system that I've learned to do, it's not originally my system, but it was like an open public thing. Like, you watch this video and you do it this way, and you're officially this kind of guy, right? One of those YouTubes. So yeah. So we have Raido over here is reversed. We'll start with this one. This was the first reversed one, and of course the big one that's irking you, right? So Raido in general, where it is correspondent to in the path of the 8, if you start in the north, which this system does. Raido is in Muspelheim in the south. Its corresponding opposite is Fehu, right? Fehu is about your material resources, because it represents what you got from the cow in primordial times, because it fed you, it sheltered you. You could fashion tools from its bones. You had all manner of use for cows and livestock, especially and different uses for the female kinds versus the male kinds. Females being the most abundantly helpful because they made more and they made milk. So
that's right.
that means that you are not using the correct ritual components, if you will. Whatever the actual things you need to use to pull this off, you have to, it's kind of like double checking the math on something, right? It's kind of like that, and then realizing that, like, wait, if I have to carry the 1, then I need a bigger hammer. Right, that's what's going on, because you're doing the math because you're measuring the energy, right?
I want to not need a hammer. Goddammit!
Your math is going to correspond to all sorts of things. If you've got a yoga position and you've been putting your back at the wrong angle to run the Kundalini energy, right? That's an aspect of Raido reversed, right? So yeah, that's what you have to think about, right? Because the resource might be just your body, and it's just saying that you're maybe doing just the wrong yoga. I don't know, right? So that's an idea. Now, on this grid here, it goes across on top. So the top, this represents the mind. This is the 3 parts of the higher mind, right? Asgard, the place of your proactive mind, your imaginative mind, and your intuitive mind, right? That's what these 3 cards represent, and that represents the whole of your higher self. And so here you've got Kenaz reversed in the west, Raido reversed in the east, right? So so if you go back to the wellspring in which you were emotionally inspired to do this stuff, and go back to that origin and retrace your steps and ask yourself, did I miss looking at a passage in a book at that time, right? What did I skip? What did I dismiss? What will I find new significance since I've learned so much since then? It's that kind of thing, right? So you go into that, and then that is going to help you straighten out the ritual. Now, what's the other correspondences to the ritual? We can go across, where we've got the unconscious Helheim situation. Once again, we've got Awaj reversed in the opposite position to Rytha over here. And anything going across the middle is going to take time, because you have to figure out how the pieces fit, like schism, and you're just in the middle of that process of doing it in the first place. So it's just letting you know that that's just the context. So Awaj is located in the system in the east. To the west, its opposite is Degaz. So if you want to know why this situation in the past here, where this Seven of Cups comes up, is not having that empathic, that emotional type of connection, you have to go back to that state, if you will, but you have to be happy about it, right? You have to be more excited, right? You have to really carpe diem the situation, right? You have to put your heart into it. And Degaz is already evidently here. And Degaz is part of your process of finding your King of Cups. So that's the unconscious connection to the whole big idea that you're doing. Now, we can go down the future line that everything is in over here on the east. This will not take years because Yera's not involved. You just have Tiwaj in the reverse down below. So Tiwaj is opposite Laguz. So there's an aspect of getting your deep emotional energy into your magical process. It's Knight of Cups, and remember, it's Knight of Cups here, not Knight of Swords. You might be too much in your head, right? You might be too much in your head about it. There's no earth in here, so and just a little bit of fire, so I don't want to say you're definitely in your body. Amongst the greatest of obvious things, you're in your body. You might be being too academic about it. Maybe you're being too Virgo energies. I don't know if you have a lot of Virgo in your chart. Maybe that has something to do with it, right? But you've got to put some more. I mean, what we got here?
I am too. I'm being really sciencey about it. Like to like an almost ridiculous.
Right. I mean,
To,
amongst these cards, I mean, the only two tarot cards that are reversed are the King of Cups, and your Water King and your Fire King are not activated, right? So there's no creation. There's the fire and the ice, Muspelheim and Niflheim are not connecting, right?
okay, you can say trust issues. It's fine. You can say trust issues. I mean, you've been saying it all night.
You're
Just
not
say
telling
it. It's fine.
you're not telling me that. You're telling yourself that. And you know what? You're on the first step. There's 11 more to go.
Motherfucker.
Okay. Right. But you have a deep amount of care to balance it out, because that's a big part of your inner authority, and it's a part of your personality, right? And it's driving you forward in that manner, right? So you do just have to go and tap into that deep emotional place as such. So, Now, with the AWAJ reversed, we've already talked about how that kind of works, but just to make sure we cover the basic correspondence, because AWAJ to Kenaj, the aspect of just the past, nothing to do with Raido. So, this is from the perspective of how it pans out in the past. This corresponds to just, the inexperience of it at the time, right? It's just telling you in a non-judgmental way. It's just like, here's a reflection of how you started, right? Very few people are badass in the bedroom on the first run, right? And now you're trying to get an advanced degree in quantum physics sex, and you shouldn't be hard on yourself. Right? It's kind of giving that overall message, because this is the ancestors. The ancestors had a lot of sex, otherwise they wouldn't have been your ancestors. And they're just trying to laugh love you at the moment. The Tiwaj, that is reversed in correspondence to the Kenaz, right? So here, this is the conflict between your ignorance and your enlightenment, right? And so something in your subconscious is dragging you down. Tiwaj is pointing down. It's like saying the pentagram is down and the power is getting sucked into the earth, right? Which balance is a beautiful thing. You would have to have like a sigil where Tiwaj is on both sides. So that way Tiwaj isn't just shooting your head straight into the clouds. Because Tiwaj is correspondent to Laguj in the wheel, and Laguj looks like either a fishing pole or it looks like a hook, right? And so, and Tiwaj looks like an anchor. I mean, hell, upside down, one could say it's kind of like a Mjolnir, except it's got a long stem instead of a short stem, meaning that Loki didn't get his dirty hands on it. So all of this is about trying to activate your power. Kenaz is activating your power. The drive of the higher force is what needs to be activated with Tyr, with your Tiwaj, with your highest inner authority from your higher self, right? And you're trying and you're looking for the magic that drives that, right? And you want to have that ability as part of your personal ascension process.
I'm gonna combine it with Kundalini energy and jumpstart my third eye and remember everything. I'm gonna remember everything.
Right. And you know that Ingvaj is also correspondent. It's correspondent to Kundalini energy. What I will say though is that what Ingvaj is really actually more correspondent to the Ruach, which is also what I'm talking about here, which is the tripartite soul. In Eastern traditions, this is the three Dantians, right? So one of the things I would encourage is that this three-part system is original core system, right? These are the Trinity forces, the forces of the creative trinities that we all know from whether you're Hindu mythology or North mythology has a couple of different instances of trinities, especially because of the three by three being the nine being the high holy number.
So you're saying I need to have two partners?
I am
Is that what you're
saying
saying?
I am saying that take a pause on the Kundalini and work on the Dantian. Go to the Dantian, work on the tripartite soul, because you're working with an energy that's more core. Uh, um, I believe it's an older system. I believe it's an older system, simple. So when I do my qigong, it's all tripartite soul stuff, and I'm not tapping into my kundalini. I don't bother my kundalini. If my kundalini is all blown out, open, oh my god, amazing, it's because of just general qigong work, right? And all my
You don't
qigong work
do your Kundalini.
is either energizing my
Oh, yeah,
mind
motherfucker
as a
all the
whole.
time. Always like, hey, what the fuck
Yeah.
are you doing? Play with me.
I'm energizing my mind as a whole. I'm energizing my my heart as a whole. Heart and lungs is kind of all that's gets wrapped up in that same chi energy, and then I'm energizing at the navel center, which is also energizing the sexuality as well as core strength and things of this nature, right? And that's all I need, right? Everybody I know who only works with like Kundalini on this on this level of technical energy work, they seem to hit a limit. It's just like I meet them like every year they seem like they're in the same place after they kind of figured it out, and I'm just like, you've kind of like graduated and you just like where you're at now. Sure, all right, cool. I've found 70 new systems to incorporate into a perfection. I'll see you later. I'm doing the great work. That's me. And that's why I don't hang with people too long, because Aries is moving on. All right, hang on a second. Nikki's got conversation. We're just about at the end of the reading. Let me see how you guys are doing in chat. How you been? How you been? Glad you guys have been chit-chatting away. Matrix Breaks, Nico, Nikki, good to see you. Cosmic Lycans, Telonius Terp. Gotcha, gotcha,
Hey, look.
gotcha. All right. Yeah, not bad. Did I say Matrix was here? Hi, Matrix, just in case I missed you. Yeah. I think that's just about it. And that's everybody who's been just kind of having fun, going back and forth. I hope I made a bunch of people laugh. All right, you good there, Nick?
Yeah, sorry, my son was asking me a question.
Oh, okay.
So I can't see the chat, so I didn't realize that you guys were all here. Otherwise, I'd have been like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, that you're on
How
Discord mobile. Yeah.
I want to be like, wow, what a great fucking reading. I never get my cards right. I always read for people, so it's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But also,
Yeah,
thank you for your act.
I don't get enough chances to read. I don't get enough chances to give people a reading. And it's just like I'm on a level where like at this point, if I were to do what other readers do and just fucking pull out like a general reading every fucking week, um, it wouldn't work. It would lose. There's something special with me in doing it, so I can't just pump it out to sell myself. It's very very hard to do it this way.
Sorry, it's almost bedtime and my kids are.
Oh, of course, mom's got a mom. Um, all right, so yeah, all right, so you love the reading. Go ahead and give me some.
Reading.
Oh yeah, get A. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, I forgot. Reflections on the animal spirit, and then your whispering woods, and then you can tell me, right? Because we got to remember this guy, right? Air spirit. So, um, it's telling you that you need greater focus on fixing what's going on with your air cards, but at the same time, I'm telling you that the runes are probably even a little bit more important than that. So you got to listen to both of us on this take, right? Because that's just the nature of what reverse runes mean, is that they're very, very important. Um, so cycles, Yera is the ultimate cycle rune in all of that respect. So the reflections. The reflections are going to come out with one of these water cards, right? I would say that's going to be that's going to come out of
All the cards
that Ace of Cups, the Ancestors and the Ace of Cups, right? Because I believe I mentioned reflections when I was talking about it, because reflections are inherent with this realm. Perspective. Once again, that's over here because of Kenaz. Kenaz is that expanding principle. It's the widening of perspective.
You wanna see some wide ass fucking perspective? How come there's no number cards in your draw in your spread? How come there's no peasants among you? Like,
There's a Seven of Cups. This is like the one thing that
that's
isn't.
transition.
This is the one thing. No, Seven of Cups, Ace of Cups. Right? That's two things that were not from royalty going on in here.
Oh, I'm talking about the numbers. There's no numbers there.
It's 24 is the number on this
The
card.
numbers give you the numbers give you clues. You know?
I didn't
Like you,
exclude any numbers. Emperor, that's 4.
I
Everybody
know,
knows
I'm just
that.
kidding. I'm just saying like the minor arcana.
Right, you just had 2 minor arcana cards come up and only 1 major arcana. Well, I'm sorry. Well, the courts are minor arcana. I forget that, but I kind of see them a little bit different than the minor arcana, even though they're in there. And then there's the number 14, of course, is important because this is great possession. From the source, creating success. Sources, right? Kenaz comes from a source, comes from a singularity, and then it expands outward. Right? This pure potential is open to source, right? Well, yeah, will be. Now you can affirm and support what is. How can you affirm it? Okay. Who will you be, right? So there's a great deal of the confidence in the self that's being asked for, right? So, I mean, that's the Emperor, and that's definitely what the East corresponds to. And, a person could go tyrant here easily, right? Because Thor is in this realm. Thor is like Zeus. Zeus is what's happened when you corrupt Jupiter's principle and you try to control everybody's moral dictates. So release. What would be correspondent with releasing here? It probably doesn't. It may not have one for this. It may not have one for this. I mean, other than the implied reflections, and then remembering to release what doesn't serve you anymore once you've realized something important that you missed. But it doesn't have a correspondence to a card that I can see. And then the parting wisdom from the Whispering Wood.
Whispering Wood, let's go.
Growth.
Of course.
The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. Right?
And again, with the seed.
And then once again, that's the Rytho reversed and the Tiwaj reversed is indicative of you definitely got to start something new because you can't be doing this to get what you desire. This reading wants you to get your desires. I want you to get what you desire. Right? So
what if what I desire is to give myself what I want? I don't even have to do that. I just have to let myself have it. It's already mine.
The circular logic is why you come to a mystic to ask the question, right? So, your desires get what you want or whatever. But what you want is what you desire. It's going around and around in circles. It's surprising that you didn't get that fucking 8 of swords. You didn't, blindfolded, surrounded by swords and Ryther weight, because, that's just
It's
in general.
cultivation.
In general, you got a little bit of that going on if you're coming to a psychic for help, right? That's because you're stuck. You can't see a way out. You need somebody to help you, right? And so you go to the mystic, So the Seven of Swords is very much the I need a mystic sword, right? So anyway, yeah. Um, yeah. Okay. So, what are your questions?
My questions?
Yeah. Do you have any questions, or are you satisfied with everything that I've said?
I'm satisfied with everything that you said.
Awesome. Awesome.
Also, fuck you for your accuracy. Big time.
Yeah. It's pulling several levels of intuitive um, triggers. It's just it just always goes that way. It just always goes that way. It is what it is. It's the Norns, right? I'm just speaking for the ladies, right? Um, yeah. What about like me do you have questions for me about about the tarot or the runes in general? Was there anything that made you say like, "Oh, I want to understand how he came to that conclusion" or something?
No, I pretty much did that in my head as we went. Sorry, it was like
Yeah,
those
okay,
two.
cool. Yeah. So do you know so with your practice with the runes, do you know about the 3/8s, how the 3/8 progress of the runes works? Did you
Well,
ever?
so from my understanding, the eight-pointed star is the origin of all the runes anyway, so they all fit into the eight-pointed star. So the trinity of the eight-pointed star system of language is kind of where that comes from. It's the trinity of the origin of the communication method of the
Y-
runes. The
Yeah,
trinity being the positive and
yeah.
negative.
I think that's. I think the way you describe that is it agrees with how I understand it. And what I do with it is that like people have seen how there's the groupings of Freya's eight, Heimdall's eight, and Tyr's eight, right? And so the 24 Futhark are then broken into three sets of eight, and um, the wisdom, it's kind of like a archaic version of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey,
Yeah.
right?
Well, why specifically Joseph Campbell's though? Like,
Well,
just
because I'm running these with the tarot all the time, I naturally discovered that there's a hero's journey element to
yeah.
how this progress corresponds to um, a different kind of beat that is given in the major arcana, right? So,
Well, that's the purpose of the cards, was to preserve the story of the hero's journey.
right. So here we are. In the runes are arrayed in the manner that they are because of the rune stones, the archaic rune stones that are found often like in the middle of the woods because a temple used to be there. And then it got raided by somebody else some time ago. And the runes were always snaking around. It was always a snaky kind of pattern. And there was always these 24 where they were finding Elder Futhark. And some of them were a little different, where the last two runes were switched, and some of them were a little different where Fehu wasn't there. Which led to the Uthark hypothesis, is that the Fehu was added later somehow, maybe. But with the 24 that we know, I believe that what we're looking at is an early teaching system. And my imagination went to this once I understood what these runes meant in the order of the eights. Give me a minute. I need more water because, dear God.
Okay. Really, what were we were doing nerd shit. Um, let me see. If this is to end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn off the mountainside. High. If we should die tonight, then we should all die together. Raise our glass of wine for the last time, calling out, Father, oh, hold fast and we will watch the flames burn over on mountainside. Desolation comes upon God.
Very lovely. What's that one called?
It's the continuation of the song I was singing before. It's I See Fire, The Hobbit.
Oh, from The Hobbit?
Oh.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I wasn't. It's been a long time since I've watched The Hobbit. Which Hobbit, animated or Peter Jackson?
Peter Jackson, obviously.
Obviously. Anyway,
Obviously.
it's okay. I'm an old man. I shouldn't have assumed that you've seen the animated version or whatever. Sing it. All
I'm like
right.
older than you.
You're
I
older than
think I'm older
me?
than you.
No, you're not. You're lying.
Yeah. I'll be 40 next year. I just turned 38. 39.
How old do you think I am?
You're at least, what, 36?
I was born in 1980. I'm Gen X.
Oh, look at you, old man.
I just told you I'm an old man.
I know. I didn't believe you, but now I do.
I have good chi.
Old motherfucker.
I
No,
told
you're still
you.
an 80s baby. I'm an 80s baby.
I told you.
We should be the same.
You have to work with the Ruach system, this Kundalini. New agers are not healthy. People that bathe in the
You also told me, you also told me I need a
River are
spiritual
not
threesome,
healthy.
so.
You but anyway, so Fehu through Wunyo is the first 8. So imagine a father is taking his son out hunting for the first time when he is like maybe 7 or something, right? Why 7? Box Saga. That's going to be my answer from now on. So anyway,
No.
so he takes him out, and before they go hunting, they stop at one of these fucking rune stones. When it's fucking clear as crystal, everything's chiseled in fresh. Some freaking shaman did it yesterday, right? And they're looking over it, and he's showing him the runes, and he's telling him a story, right? And he's talking about Fehu, right? And he's talking about, all right, son, in order to survive, we have all these things on us. You know, we slaughtered a cow to wear these skins to keep us warm because of the ice cold, right? We're talking about the Ice Age. These are people that are coming out of the goddamn Pleistocene, right? So
And
they're
cows.
so they're wearing like all sorts of animal skins and things of this nature, and they're using stuff made of bone. Everything's archaic. Their civilization was destroyed, and the global family was separated from itself, right? So everybody kind of half forgot everything, and everybody had to start doing all sorts of different stuff to live on every conceivable level. And thank God we had fire, right? So anyway, so Fehu, he would explain, like, do not leave the house unless you've got all your provisions. Then he would go to Uruj. Listen, we're going hunting. You have to be as strong as a bear. You have to be as strong as an ox. You know, he'll point at an aurochs. The aurochs is from Iran, is where we get the word Uruj. The aurochs comes from Iran. They tracked the entire genealogy of these cows to Persia, and then they migrated west from there and brought them into Germania, right? And we know that Aryans descended from the north and went down there, right? So this is the strength of Uruj, right? So he's giving his boy the point of just like, you're going to have to get stronger, you're going to have to learn to fight. And then he points to Thorisaz, right? You know, he starts telling him about Thor, and he starts telling him that you're going to look at Thor like he's your big brother, and you're going to become big and strong like your big brother, because maybe he's got a big brother already, just to make the story easy, right? And so, you know, he tells him, listen, because you're going out there to hunt, you're going to have to be able to do this. You have to be able to defend yourself. You're going to have to learn how to defend other people. You have to learn to defend the tribe. We may need to go to war. We listen to the king, right? So Thorisaj, and then he goes, Ansuj. Now that we have our survival in check, we can finally go to the mind. The answers, the answers, right? You have to listen. You have to listen to your inner wisdom, and you're going to learn that as I teach you, right? This is father and son. This is father and son.
You're talking like the guy from the
right?
now.
Answers, right? So
Oh,
then it's Raido. From here we have to work. From here we have to do the thing. We have to go on a journey to go find the game that we're going to go kill, right? And we have to do things in a proper way. Otherwise, we're going to spook the prey, and we're also not going to be able to take it back home for the tribe, right? And so this is learning the right way to do things, ritual. And so they emanate Odin's great hunt in this respect, so on and so forth, right? Then Kenaj. All right, son. Now you actually have to go through the process of knowing how to hunt and how to fight, right? You're going to keep training. You can defend yourself, but you can't really fight. You can't handle the long haul, right? We're going to give you the knowledge, the ability to be able to do these things. You can now do them on your own when you become a man, right? And so
good luck with that.
Then he's just like, son, once you've got that power, you become of great use to everyone around you. You have a gift to give, and thus that raises your personal self-worth, and people will see that in you, and you'll always have work, and things will always be in balance, and according to what you can give is what you're going to be able to get back from others. This is Gebo, right? This is just the balance, you know? It's just like somebody loves you, they give you $5, don't pay me back. But in your heart, you've got to pay them back. It doesn't have to be $5 because they won't take your money, but, you know, they want a hug maybe. You know, they want to thank you maybe, right? Whatever that equivalence sums up to be. But the point is, don't just do it for fucking nothing, but also don't have nothing to give. And then once you've reached that state of Gebo, you will find supreme satisfaction with your work and with your life, Wunyo. Right? And so he would teach his son all this shit first. And then once he had that ingrained in him as common fucking sense, he would go and he would do the same thing with Heimdall. Because Heimdall is not just where the first eight are about the lower self, right? That's all physical and even and mental that serves the physical, right? Because of what you're doing and the correspondence to the mind that can't be separated from that. But then once you move up to Heimdall, you're actually up in the head. You're not in the higher self, but you are up in your head with Heimdall. The higher self projects out from the heart. But our antenna connection on the psychic level, you know, we get our reception from the crown, right? That's the top of the torus field of our energy system. That's there in the Ruach as well as the Kundalini. You don't get rid of that when you work with the tripartite Dantian system. So with Heimdall, hail is Hagel for Heimdall. It has twofold meaning. It's turmoil. It's when life throws you a shitstorm. And it's also about connections to heaven and earth, which has a corresponding sense of healing, because hell is to heal.
Which is where the term comes
Yeah, it's where that word comes from. Yeah, indisputable. Whether you believe that Helsinki, Finland, was also Helheim. So, so from there, this turmoil makes you realize that you don't have a fundamental thing that you need, right? Like my car breaks down and all hell breaks loose in my inner world because of how much it cripples my general mobility outside of using my legs, right? So I can't do the traveling that I like to do, which I also need to be convenient to go to works. And so that's a Hagalaz moment if I have a car issue like that on a schedule. It can create stress. This stress needs to be alleviated. That's the tension of rubbing the sticks together, the fire to Nothies. I'm like, oh, how do I end this right now? How do I resecure the future? Oh my God, my future's falling apart in real time, right? Which happened to me. It was devastating, and I lost an amazing girlfriend in the process because my Nothies was shit when a crisis occurred, but there's also a bunch of other things that were dumb that I did. But anyway, my point is that this is when you have to stop everything for catastrophic whatever. So now you're learning about how to deal with stress. Basically, is what this middle 8 is for. So then you go to Isa. So in the process of this turmoil and doing what you need, you're trying to reorient yourself. You're trying to find your axis mundi. You're trying to find yourself again and get to center. Isa is about getting to center again, your true core essence. From there, you need to spend time in that state to clear the field. That's your Yera. Then you go to Uwaj, which is where you go through the transformational change. Then into Pertho, where this transformational change then opens up the new possibilities of the future as you have now drawn a new lot in life. This is the lot cup, Perthro. It's also the birth canal. It is the woman's legs open to have a child received into the world.
Wow.
Then we go Elgaz. Algiz. This is like Tharisaj is physical protection. Algiz is psychic protection. This is why I put them on my temples, right? This is shamanic power, right? That's what it represents. It is the antlers of the elk. The word is an archaic word for the elk, but also it's that shape in general. It's there's a reason why they use it reversed in the peace sign, which is why I have disdain for the peace sign, because the Merkstave meaning is surrender. Surrender implies that you allowed violence. And to allow violence is a moral crime. And that's not what people that flashed that peace sign did, but the confusing message in the subconscious is what they recklessly caused. And that's one of the big curses that they used in the 60s. That's why they call it Nero's cross, because it was a cross used to burn down the fucking empire by Nero's permission.
I guess. I don't know. I think I see it as more self-sacrifice, which is the divine feminine over and over, through and through, in and out.
When it's reversed?
No, I just mean this symbol in general.
Yeah, the algae symbol.
I got a hard stop in like 3 minutes for bedtime.
Oh, okay. All right, so wait, you only
got
got
3 minutes.
You got to go in 3
Trying to
minutes? Or he's got to go in 3 minutes. Bye! All right.
No, me. I have to go to bedtime.
Oh, you have to do your bedtime. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's go to bedtime.
Well, anyway,
Mommy
long story short, when you come into your shamanic power, this is where you kind of regain your soul, right? This is when everything returns from that chaos in the Hagalaz state to that soul is like soothing, right? It's like you're back to your your bliss. I don't like the word bliss, but I'm just gonna use the word bliss state for the sake of argument. Just that state where everything's back to, oh, everything's good. My heart can relax. My future is restored. Right? You have a sense of your future again. Right? And then after that, you go through Tiwaj, and that's spiritual development. And we don't got time for that because it's only 3 minutes. But the Burkana rune is, I'll let you know, is a rune for fertility, for the birthing process, so on and so forth. You may want to look into that and look into that rune in a manner of saying I want to make sure that I'm in control and that I'm not making these things happen if I make different choices with what I am doing with my energy than what I would like today, right? Just depends on what you find, down the road. It's important to know that just because we're not going to cover the last 8 because you got to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bedtime.
No,
Funny shit. But thank you. Thank you for the reading. It was lovely. It was flawless and hurt my feelings a little bit.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
I mean, you know what? I can let you go, and then I can talk for a second to the audience, and I'll give the audience Tiwaj through Othal, and then say hi to everybody in the chat and all that stuff. All right.
Yeah, no, I want to say bye to everybody in the chat because I love you guys. Lippin, thanks for coming in. And if Cosmic's there, I'm sorry. It pulled me out to put me in this. Like I was in the middle of the thing, but it's cool.
Right.
All of you guys, you.
Brother Jim popped in. That's the only new guy I see in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Oh wait,
I
oh
just
no,
I don't
I
know who's
do.
there, but
I'm
I
sorry,
love them
I
all.
did see Cosmic. I just saw Cosmic. I think he said one thing.
Okay, cool.
Oh, he said
Yeah,
shuffle. He said shuffle some more. I can understand why you'd say that, Cosmic, but believe me, I there's no shuffling more. It's just that's what she needed to hear. Like, look how good this reading was for her, right? I don't think she's gonna lie to me.
no, I don't care about your feelings to lie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alrighty.
Everybody has to see.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go then, or you're gonna let me go. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do bedtime.
All right. All
Thank you
right.
very much. See you
Yep. Hit
later.
me up later. Bye. All right,
Bye.
guys. So we'll let this. Okay, there we go. That's off. Oh, will this stay on like that? Maybe that'll stay on. Okay. If it doesn't cut off the video, I'll just stay like this here so we can talk. All right. So I'm going to run the last 8 by you for the sake of this video. And I want to remind everybody that a reading like that's $120. For that kind of reading, any reading that I do that's the long form readings for an hour, that's $120. If you don't got $120, for $80, you can do a half hour reading with some shorter spreads that I do. All of them incorporate the runes and the tarot, and all of them use my major cards, my major divination cards. So Tiwaz is a direction, right? You're going in a certain direction, right? You've sought out an inner path, like it's the what are you doing with your life rune, right? These are like what a father's teaching his son towards the end, right? Then Burkina is him, or her, right? Like, I'm giving the hunters example, which works for gals that like to hunt and stuff too. And plus, I think any gals that don't do anything like that at least understand that from watching men do it or seeing it done in film. Hey, what's up, Isaiah Schmidt? Yeah, Evocation. Bear with me. Okay, so Tiwaj, Burkana, excuse me. So, getting into Burkana, it's just going off, and I think that's just kind of like, I think that's the birds and the bees conversation, right? I think that's what's happening there, because you're given these instructions to fairly young man or young woman, right? I mean, like, just they could be advanced concepts, but theoretically we can handle advanced concepts at that age. I mean, any child being put through Bible school is being thrown advanced concepts as much as they are, um, advanced to, as far as really it ought to be an adult comprehension. Okay, so the video, did the video just pan out? Okay, so the video's done. Okay, if I'm by myself for 3 minutes, it cuts off the video. Okie dokie, all right, let's close Discord then. Are we still here? Are we still here? Let's see if that works. That might work. Hang tight. Hang on. Does it say, am I back yet? Let me know in chat if I'm back. The stream technically didn't end. I gotta hit refresh. Yeah, okay. There we are. I am back. Great. Sorry about that. I wanted to just take down Discord, and I accidentally took down Streamlabs too. All right. Whoops. Yeah, let's blow me up a little bit. There we go. Bang. With my pretentious aegis Yelmer upon thy brow. So from Burkana, we go to Ewaj, and so Ewaj is lessons about human connection, right? Because of just like understanding the birds and the bees conversation, and then understanding that there's more to it than that. But like Ewaj with that empathic link. I mean, like we all know it's the horse, and so there's an understanding about having a certain relationship with nature. Then there's also the understanding of like in the Box Saga, your Tor friend. I think Ewaj is a perfect expression of a Tor friend as well. Then we go to Manaz, right? And this is about your ability to use your higher mind, which often in many respects is going to involve knowledge that you share with other people, but then also, of course, what you have gotten on your own, and you're also learning to follow the moon. Right, you're getting your lessons in how in the importance of the moon to help you tell what time of year it is. Anyway, then from Manaz we move to Lagos, right? And so this would be learning how to fish, learning how to swim, and some of the more advanced stuff. Right, and using those lessons about, quote, reflection, because if you're looking into a lake all the time and you're looking at your own face, and back then there were no mirrors, so getting out to the water was one of the only ways that you saw your own appearance, right? Not many mirrors, not a whole lot of glass like that. So wet surfaces were the only way you could like see in, right? And you could scry the surface of water as well, right? So all of these things would have been taught through lagus. Then we have ingos. So ingos is just talking about that process of the transformation. It's like the rising kundalini, or, it's just the circuit energy of the ruach, as I have mentioned. Then we get to Degas. Degas is once you've charged that ruach system, now you've got this power in you. This is your power station, right? This is your full strength of energy. And then you've got Othal. Once you've acquired this energy, you have to ground it, and you bring it back home with you because it's a part of you, and it's meant to serve in your home, it's meant to serve in your sanctuary, it's meant to serve in your workplace. And then from home, you do it all over again, but better. And you go through the cycles each time, and you run these cycles like you run through seasons. It's just something you have to do. You handle this rhythm underneath you, and you are in step with the rhythm of life. And the rhythm of life is navigating the world. And that is perhaps a reason why the runes were written out like a serpent. Because to know the runes is to ride on the back of Jormungandr. The Kwisatz Haderach rides Shai Halud. Gotta drop that Dune bomb. All right. So there's your lesson on the 3/8. Thank you so much, Isaiah. Thank you, Saniko. Do you guys got anything you want to ask me before we're done? I want to remind you that zeralath@yahoo.com is my email. If you don't hit me up on social media, you hit me up on email, zeralath@yahoo.com. If you are interested in a personal reading, 1 hour is $120. Oh, I'm sorry. Evocation. What is evocation? Okay, so you've heard of invocation, you've heard of evocation. Invocation is bringing something from outside of yourself within. You're using your magic, you're using your power. You are using your authority in your magic to call upon a power outside of yourself. To make a change in your world or the world that you desire to see, for the agreed upon terms with said power. Because that power is coming from a deity or a spirit, so on and so forth. That's an invocation in the simplest answer. An evocation is bringing it out from within, power sourced from within. As a merit of there being a connection, as an intermedium between me and Nico, even though I did not invoke the norns, I am merely recognizing the fact that this does not happen without them between us. Right? So, that is different than invocation. Because I did not really call on them for the power. I give them credit for me to do this because this is a talent. This is like, when I picked up the cards, I was really excited about it, and I felt like I was going to get it. But at first, things were a little bit more, before my right brain could grasp it, the limits of my left brain were kind of going at it a little haphazard until it became way more intuitive, and I extracted way more depth out of the meaning of the cards to improve the clarity of the context for each and every unique kind of reading that I would be gotten questions asked for. So evocation is the power within. This is why, strength training. This is why I do Qigong and yoga. This is why I work on toning the runes and all these different things, working on my education and stuff. This is all building my own personal self-power, right? If there's anything I ever call upon, it is the understanding, the inner standing of the higher force. If there's anything that I actually call upon, it would be that inner standing of the higher force. And that comes from my understanding that the principles laid out in the Kybellion are incredibly prime, and that it is the all, and the all is the mind, and thus we're talking about the higher force is the same thing as the Brahman, it's the oversoul, some call it, so on and so forth. The higher force is a common vernacular in the mystery school I'm with, which, it works for the English language and being as general as possible because it is talking about the most general sense of the conscious creation force, which is sort of one thing, but is also sort of it's like an abstract democracy is the only way I can describe it in short form now. It just depends on how much you've tapped in and tried to feel and reach out the most existential sense of consciousness that has an influence on all things around you that are in front of you and things that you assume would be in front of you if you stepped outside your room or looked out your window, and everything that is beyond the perceptions of the ordinary senses, right? These are layers of reality that were being criticized by Heidegger and broken down into how we're fundamentally organizing them as a definition of our state of being on a automatic primordial level, right? There's something automatic primordial about these relationships with everything in its utilitarian functions in many respects. So, evocation, it's that principle of the saying the I am, It's like, what are the things about you in which you can definitively say I am? I told Nico, I am awesome at this, right? It's a properly earned bragging right, and I feel energetically drained by the meek and humble movement. It's like, no, I'm sorry. I need to be confident and proud and excited about things I love to do. And that's going to come off braggadocious, right? And there has to be a right way to brag about a thing, because Brag is one of our Norse deities, who also was a real man. He was put into the mythos because he became such a quintessential skald that he kind of became the rock star of his day. And then he became the official consort of Idun because of the sense of how being such a memorable storyteller, which is also your ability to rekindle men's memories of stories of their pasts, which is something that I think men are more interested in hearing, if they're not of my disposition, than those who would tell fortunes and tell stories of the future. Because telling stories of the future is not concrete and never was concrete. Because if it was, then the people would have been prepared for the first Ragnarok. Because technically, nothing should have happened to shake that society. Right? But I have a feeling that there's probably parts of the story that I don't know yet, that or maybe are not covered in the box saga, that look at different angles of what they were doing, right? In certain contexts, right? It makes a number of things make sense, is the point. But as far as very, very funny, Isaiah. Yeah, but so as far as that evocation goes, I got hard work so I could evoke the point to you that I'm fucking good at this. Really good. And I am so used to usually meeting people that I said, like, oh, my God. I wish human beings were trying to solve their fucking problems. And I wish human beings believed someone like me with my talents could solve their problems. And I can't fucking convey that I'm here to help by being humble. It is possible to convey that as a humble person. That's not me, though. I would be lying to myself just because I want to do a thing. I have to do it my way. I have to have my fun. And I will work hard in other respects if this isn't successful, because it has to be authentic, right? I have to be really authentic. If I'm doing this for money, I have to be that authentic to justify doing it for money. Yeah, I know, Sinico. I know. Are you making a joke about what men do, or women? I mean, men and women both do it in different ways, right? It's the different ways they do it because of the different because of the social hierarchies of men and the social hierarchies of women. So it's the part of the man's world that the women don't see or understand usually, unless they're the kind of women that really get it about the boys, right? Versus the other side of that. And that would be primordially baked into the cake, I suppose, in the reason and manner in which people around the world all have similar customs about, like, you got to separate men and women for various reasons, right? And granted, it's just obvious looking at us anyway, right? So it's just one of those obvious things, right? It's a question of how much were they really separating us, right? Because they had the intermingling area and then they had the separated areas, right? This is like co-ed colleges where you got the girls' dorms, the boys' dorms, right? Your entire civilization is like college, where the men and the women don't mingle, period, right? And this is how they try to keep everything under control, which I guess made sense in the beginning. I'm just wondering if the Bach Saga has answers to questions like what was Odin's motivation for Ragnaroks, so on and so forth. Right? Because that can all correspond to the biblical flood. Any of these kind of cataclysm types of the past is going to make people think of, well, what's the deal then? Is it like the flood? Because all the myths have a flood, except for the people in the north who have an ice age. Which would make sense. So anyway. Yeah, so that's my little rune spiel. I've been at this for a hot minute. I'm going to take a break and relax, and right now I don't have any job on the schedule, so I might have time tomorrow if they don't call me into work in some manner. I might wrap up the last two parts of the 1987 Mitch Bach Saga story and go into the next thing. Okay? I will catch you guys in good time.